Jamie, you're
My
live.
eyelashes. Oh my god. They're gonna see up my nose.
You know that everyone in the whole world just saw that. Okay, do an intro to our show and then tell them why you just did that.
Hi everyone. I'm Jamie. That's Dani over there.
Other way.
Oh no, whatever. We're here. We're live streaming, and we are just two girls that will share a little bit about our stories and how we came together. We're not together, but like we were together in Hawaii, and just like why we wanted to start this and what this will be about. Clearly it's very real and raw. Like I was trying to fix my eyelash before the show, but that's what life's about. So anyways, Dani, why don't you give us a short
start
intro?
that over?
Yeah, actually. About yourself.
Well, before that, so my husband Seth, he's Seth the producer, so you might hear him chime in on here somewhere. Anyways, we just think there's a lot of guys kind of talking about CrossFit games, kind of everything that's going on in the fitness space. And there's really no just like females or women kind of talking about it. And besides that, like Jamie and I have both competed. We're happily retired now, but we competed for a long time. We've both owned gyms, still own gyms. What else do we do in fitness? We did grid.
We did. We were grid.
We did grid.
We did grid.
That's how we met.
Together. Yes. Have traveled the world, have been to all different kinds of events, have done semifinals a ton, and the old school way that we had to qualify through the open and then regionals and all of that good stuff. And just different life experiences, and just want to share a little bit of our journeys and how we, our take on this sport. And also like life. I feel like we have very different. You're from Boston. I'm from LA. We're in Hawaii.
Now we're in Hawaii.
Crazy. And I think that's just what we're here for, just to give a little bit of our take and our spin on CrossFit fitness and life.
So start from the beginning then, or maybe not fully the beginning, but like why and when did you open your gym? Your CrossFit?
So I was a basketball player before all this. Everyone's like, oh, like I got into CrossFit because I played basketball in college. I played overseas. I came back. And my last thing before I hung up my shoes for basketball, I tried out for the WNBA, the Sparks, and I ran this Asian American night.
Yeah, I didn't know that. No, I thought you just played in like
million times
or something. Didn't you play in Germany?
In Greece and Spain a little bit. And they ran out of money. It was a bad time in the economy.
Wait, you ran out of money?
Oh, yes, me and them and the teams. All of us were broke. And I had to come home. And so before I hung up my shoes and put them away and stopped playing basketball, my last shot at basketball was trying out for the Los Angeles Sparks. That's the WNBA team. This was in 2012, I think.
Wait, I literally didn't know that. I swear I did not know that. I swear. I did not know that till right now.
Okay, and we'll back up to how we met and all that stuff later. So I ran this clinic for the Los Angeles Sparks. It was Asian American night. Clearly, if like I made the team, then all these Asian American kids and sponsors and people would come support us. And I did a clinic. There's 300 kids on Staples Center floor. Kobe Bryant's dad was a coach at the time. Jelly Bean. And he, so I ran a clinic and then didn't make the team. And so then they took all the contacts and that's okay. And then, but what came out of it, and this is why I always say, yes, for me, it was not really like a failure, but I think of it as when one door shuts, another one will open.
Of course.
For me, when I didn't make the team and my basketball career was over, the next door that opened up for me came from that clinic. And there was a guy there named Dan Uemura. He brought his daughter to the clinic, and he messaged me and he was like, hey, I brought my daughter to your basketball clinic. The way you move, the way you warm up, I think you would be really good at CrossFit. And he owned a gym, LAX CrossFit at the time. So he's like, come out and try this out. And like most people, I had heard so much about it. I was like, no, I don't want to do it, but thank you so much. And he just kept on bugging me. And I was like, okay, I'll come out one time. And then did it and caught the bug and loved it. So
how long from then till you opened your gym? Like, did you go to LAX CrossFit? Were you a member there?
Yes. So I actually used, and this way it's tried and true, I used CrossFit to train. October 2011, I found CrossFit. And I was just doing the 1 hour a day class. That's it. And even then I would cherry pick. Sometimes if it was like only lifting and no cardio, I was like, I'm not going. Anyway, so, and I was training for basketball. So October, and my tryout for the Sparks was April of 2012. So I did it for about, is that 6 months? I don't know. October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Yeah, 6 months. 6 months of CrossFit. And I was hands down the best shape of my life. Like out of high school, college, overseas, professionally playing basketball, hands down the best shape of my life. Yeah.
Wait, why did you not make the team in the first place? Were you like not fit enough, or just they were just like better?
Oh, because for the WNBA, there's they had 15 players already on their roster, and they had to cut that down to 11. So they already had
they weren't
players.
even taking new people, basically.
No, and then they just had an open tryout to have more people. But the Asian American community has always supported me. So they're like, hey, if Jamie's on the team, we want to talk about like, sponsoring you guys. So yeah, it was crazy. There was like Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, like the owner of Pan Express was there. You know, like legitimate. Like they should have just had me on the team so they can get all these sponsors. But
anyways, just put you on the bench.
Exactly. Oh, if I would have sat on the bench, they would have had Pan Express.
You still had all the sponsors.
Anyways,
so you had a membership at LAX CrossFit.
Yes, and so then
you lived still in Torrance.
Yes, so I would drive to like LAX, which is like, I mean, it's not super far. 30 minutes, 30. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, and then when I didn't make the team, what did I do? I made regionals my first year, and they're like, oh man, it's so cool you made regionals. And I was like, what's that? And then regionals was Saturday, right? Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that week of regionals, I had jury duty in Long Beach, where you used to own a gym. And we'll get into that later too. Okay. Went to jury duty, and at my lunch break did CrossFit. It was 100-meter sprints in the middle of the street, sprinting my ass off, like racing all the guys and girls next to me.
Wait, where was that regional? That's 2012 regional?
SoCal. It was a 2012 at the Pomona Fairgrounds.
Okay.
So yeah, so it would have been like, and they're like, yeah. So then I tore my hamstring, like got called on a jury case, was like, I just tore my hamstring, I gotta go, so I can't do this. And they're like, okay. And I was like, okay, cool. So I didn't. Perfect. I got called off of that, and then but then I was like, I obviously can't. The first regional workout was Diane, which is handstand push-ups and heavy deadlifts, and I was like, I can't do that. So I went to watch. I saw all these amazing women out there, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Like I want to do this. So then I had the whole year 2012 to train for my very first regionals in 2013. Anyways,
when was your gym? Where was your gym in that?
Yes. So then my gym in 2013 of March, April, May, June, somewhere. I should know this. March. We opened in 2013. So
you found it, and you dove right in. You were like doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I loved
Nothing
it.
Else to do.
Right. I was done with basketball. I love competition. Yeah. I like wanted to I saw these incredible women like doing the sport, and I was like, oh man, I want to be out there, Okay. No, so totally. How did you open yours, and why did you start CrossFit?
My story is not that interesting, I don't think. Like my aunt lived out here on Oahu, and she was going to CrossFit Oahu, and they used to wear those like Vibrams, those shoes with the fingers, the finger toes. And she would just be like, oh, like I do CrossFit or whatever. And I was like, that's so stupid. Like I just was like such a hater, right? Still am. Okay. But I was such a hater. And then I remember I was watching on TV, it was like the CrossFit Games, and they were doing, it was Murph, but it was in the sand. Do you remember that? I don't know what year that was. Maybe 2010.
It was at
it was in California somewhere.
Yeah.
But it was just down to, it was like
San Diego or whatever.
But so they were running like the mile in the sand, right? Yeah. They had the rig out, whatever. And like I think I saw that, and I was like, okay, this is like kind of cool. But I like couldn't. I was like giving my aunt so much shit for it that I like had to not do it for so long,
So you were living in Boston, and you're
living in Boston, and she was out here. Yeah, okay. In Hawaii.
On Oahu.
But on Oahu, at CrossFit Oahu, yeah. So after that, I don't even know how much time passed between that and that, but I was just in college and just was like looking for a gym to lift in. And then I went to just a gym that was in Boston, and it just kind of went from gym to gym in Boston, and to the point where I was just like I can't have a job. I'm unemployable. Like I have to go open a gym. So that was kind of that.
Okay. But that's pretty ballsy to like, you had no prior experience in like entrepreneurship, owner, like nothing. Business, like were you studying business at the time? Like, what made you just like?
What was I studying? No, I was in college for math. I was a math major, and
Are you good at
I
math?
not anymore, but I
Okay.
was. No, now
Okay.
we're both just dumb. I
Really?
was really good at math. But
Okay.
so I was in college in Boston, and then I forget like the exact time period, but like I was like I'm done with college, but and I had just started CrossFit, and then we made the gym I was at, that team made regionals that first year. So I failed a college class because I was like so into like just wanting to be in the gym and whatever. I like stopped going to classes, and you have to pay for the class if you fail. So I like paid for the class, failed the class, and then never went back to college. Well, until later. But like I was just like, I'm not going back to college. So during it was like a winter break. So you have like 2 weeks off in college. So it was like at that time in winter break when I decided I was going to drop out. And I was in the car with my mom, and we were just like around Christmas, and we were just driving in my hometown. And we drove by this building, and it was just like, I was like, that would be such a sick gym. And it was just like, it was an old like car, like kind of like warehouse type thing. It was like shaped like an L, but it was probably about 3,000 square feet. And the upstairs had like an apartment. But so I'm saying to my mom, I'm going, oh, like that's such a cool gym. And we drive by, and I told her to turn around, and it just so happened that like the landlord was like in the parking lot, and the place was for rent. So it was like snowing too. There's like snowbanks, right? So I get out of the car, and I'm just like, hey, like, and I'm 20 at the time, right? So he's probably just like, what am I gonna do with you? Whatever. So
yeah.
He was like an older guy, but he I was just started talking to him, and I had no idea how to run a business. No one in my family ever ran businesses. So besides just like the like analytical part of running a business, we didn't even know how to get started. Like I didn't know like that I needed an LLC, or like I didn't know anything about that. Like so it was really really like just kind of figuring one thing out at a time. And like I don't even remember like I don't remember doing that. Like I don't know how we figured it out. Yeah, but like my family was yeah. Well, now it's like I can do it in my sleep, right? But
yeah, we're just on a beach, and you're like coming up with a business idea, and you're like, okay, boom, boom. I'm like,
but okay. It's so easy because now I've done it like 10 times, like so easy. But yeah, back then I literally don't even remember the process of like seeing that building and then like figuring out how to like sign and negotiate a lease, and like I don't even remember that. Like I don't know how yeah, and my parents like were not like they were supportive in a sense, but they were not stoked to be like, you're dropping out of school to like open a gym. Like kind of like, what are you like?
So
how
do you doing? You used your own money you saved, or like you had partners, or this is just you by yourself? You took out loans?
There was like a couple different things. We had like, I found like a guy to do like a private loan for a little bit. I think I think they might've like done like a HELOC for me or something, or like a home equity line or something of that sort. I think that was like it. I had some I used some credit cards, like just kind of like, yeah. And like, it was cool because there was no other gym like really nearby besides like I had a really awesome location. Like it was right off the highway, like right in my hometown. Like it was a sick location. But then like, yeah, it was just crazy. So I had regionals in like probably like May or whatever. So this started in Christmas, right? Like December. Had regionals in May for the gym that I was still at. So I didn't want to tell them I was opening up a gym because I so badly wanted to compete at regionals. Okay. So that was regionals May or June or whatever. And then opened up the gym in 2013, 14.
Oh, so we're about the same. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe 13.
Wait, the 14? Same year? This is so weird.
Wait, what was your first year? No, I think my first regionals was 20. Oh, was it? Really?
Yeah, because maybe mine was 2012.
No, mine was 14. Wait, okay. 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 14.
We're old. Okay.
This is 10 years ago. 14. Okay. And it was at Reebok 1, which was like sick.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so cool. Oh, but yeah, so I didn't tell anybody about the gym because I wanted to be able to do regionals. I was like on a team. We like sucked, but I just like wanted to do it. And then then I got my dog Brady, which everybody was like, you just dropped out of college and you're opening up a gym that you don't know what you're doing and you need to go get a puppy. And I was like, yes. So I got Brady in like I think 2 days after regionals, and then opened up the gym in August of 2014. So yeah, I was like 20 years old or something. So it's just like, but yeah, it was kind of crazy.
Okay. Crazy. We had totally different experiences because Dan, whose daughter came to my clinic, he had owned LAX CrossFit and done the whole business thing. So he lived in Torrance, my sister, who was not a CrossFit fan, I think I made her come, and she's like, I would at family dinners, I'd be like, "Do guys CrossFit, CrossFit," and she'd be like, literally, she's like, "Shut up, we don't want to hear about CrossFit anymore." I was like, "Oh, okay." So
She still tells you that.
yeah, she does. But I was like, "Hey," so Dan was like, "Hey, we all live in Florence, like that was by LA, further out. Why don't we open a gym here?" So he had the experience. Lexi came to UH, got kicked out. Anyways, because she was just or whatever she was doing, and then working at Mai Tai. Yeah. Anyways, and then went back and she got her finance. So she had that kind of background.
Some What did you bring to the table?
Nothing. I brought, I guess, like I was just the coach. They're like, "Jamie, coach classes, be with the people," because that's what I just love, to talk to people and be with people. Like I can't help myself. I'm like, literally, I went to your swim lessons with Josie, and I was like, talking to all the parents, and they're like, "Which one's your kid?" I was like, "I don't have one, it's hers."
Jamie's lived here for what, 6 months, and every time we go anywhere, she knows 20 people. Like we just leave her. We're just like, okay, bye. Like bye. I don't even know how to know these people.
I love to talk to people. That was my major, comm and communication. And so I think for me, like Dan and Lexi, literally, like they're you. Like they know the business. They run everything, the emails. Like there's so much that goes into a gym that I don't think people understand. Like if you're like me, you coach and you think it's fun. And I'm like, great. If I can coach all day long, but that's probably like a very small portion of actually owning a gym. So
you're like the hobby gym owner. You're like,
yes,
which is fine though, because you have them to help you with the other stuff.
Yeah, but I also didn't have a job that paid me to do that. So like, but I also was an athlete. So I was like trying to compete and I was trying to make the games. And so they're like, "Jamie, you focus on training and like, and competing and just coaching and being here with the people in the community." And I was like, fantastic, I can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
And so, so you and Dan and Lexi are like the brains and like understand everything. And so I think it's okay. So being 20 years old at the time, what would you tell a 20-year-old now who is in your shoes, that is in college, is like, "I'm going to open a gym"? Like what now? With no experience, with no
completely honestly, right now, I would say do not open a gym. I would say go find one for sale. No, not because of the reasons you're saying. I think that there's still a way to make money in gyms. There's just so many now. Number one, there's always people looking to sell. There are always gyms that are closing. And then there's so much just like weird, like stuff happening with CrossFit that people ask Seth and I all the time, "Are you affiliating? Are you de-affiliating?" We like posted that we affiliated one of the gyms with MetFix, which is like Greg Glassman's new company. We got so many messages and questions. "Oh, you're not a CrossFit anymore?" And it's like, no, we still are. But like just for the past, I don't even know when the Greg Glassman stuff all started, like probably 4 or 5 years ago now, like there was all this de-affiliations and stuff happening. And like you guys dabbled in that. And like, I don't know, just like everybody was like not sure what to do. Right. So if somebody was like, "Oh, I'm going to open up a gym right now," I'd be like, "No, don't." I'd be like, "Go find one for sale," because it's for sale. There's plenty.
Right. So then do you think that there was this big boom? Because I feel like what we saw was there's so many popped up everywhere. And then now, I think what happens is when you realize you don't make a ton of money, right? I mean, I think very few gyms make money to support yourself. And these are expensive places. Like you're in Boston, I'm in LA, like Hawaii, like the cost of living is so crazy that if you're doing that full time, like I was telling people, I was paying $600 a month for insurance, and it was shitty insurance. Like it was crazy. Like, but that's so much money out of pocket. So I mean, I think there's just like a lot of factors that go into owning a gym, and for people to like really look at and look into before they actually do it. So
I don't know how many like gym owners there are that just own one gym. Like Seth and I couldn't just own one gym and have that just be everything, right? Like we would have to be doing other stuff, which is like why we started kind of like the programming company. And then now we have 5 gyms, because it's like you can't like maybe if you did like a lot of like personal training or something, maybe. But I think also like, I think like, again, with all the crazy stuff that's kind of happened, again, CrossFit stuff, COVID stuff, like I wouldn't feel super like maybe comfortable just like owning one gym. Like, oh, then COVID's like, oh, close. And then you're like, what do I do? You know? So it's, like, I think that whole like landscape kind of changed it for a lot of people of being like, maybe I can't just own a gym like right now or whatever. So I don't know, like, I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that just own their gym, but maybe their partner has like a different job or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I'm like, oh man, it's not like we're discouraging people to open a gym. I think if anyone is passionate about something and like has this like desire and like that's what they want to do, truly believe you can do whatever you want. So if you love fitness and love CrossFit and want to be a business owner and own your own gym one day and that's your dream and your goal, do it. Like
it's just it's so much work. I think it's like, I think everyone, oh, you own a gym. Like it sounds so easy, but also people who say that like don't typically value kind of like their health and fitness. Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like, and then also like a CrossFit, like a membership is expensive now. It's not a, you know, a Planet Fitness $20 a month kind of thing.
Right.
Like you're looking at sometimes up to $300 a month, which is like a lot to get people to understand like what they're kind of getting in value for that. And like, totally. I do think that that's tricky, right? Like to be like, you know, like how many people are willing to spend $300 a month, like in your little community, like,
and that's a car payment, like, yeah.
And there's so many other gym options around, right? So like the typical person is going to say, this is $300 a month and this gym's $20 a month. I'm going to go walk on the treadmill. They don't know that that's doing nothing for them, right? Because like, I also think so many people like just pay for a gym membership to say, oh, I go to the gym. Yeah. Like that's probably the majority of people, right? Like if you're actually thinking about it. So
how do you
think that it's tricky?
Like, what do you think sets apart your gym from like, if someone came up to you and was like, oh, well, 24-Hour Fitness is $30 a month. Like, I'm going to go there. Like, how would you sell or kind of like differentiate yourself from that?
Yeah, I think obviously it's the community, right? So I think like you're messaging back and forth with somebody and you tell them the price and they're likely not interested. Like right off the bat, they don't like the price of it. So now you like, if you can get them in to take a class, like then, you know, they're meeting your coaches, they're, you know, seeing all these people have a good time. Like that's what's most important. That's the only way to get people to commit, right? Like we've tried over the years, probably every different type of sort of like marketing that you can do. And like, it's the best is always just going to be like word of mouth, you know?
Yeah.
Totally. I think it's the only way to get people in and get people interested and get them to stick and stay.
Oh man, the trials and tribulations of owning a gym. So I do still own my gym. It's in Torrance. It's Torrance Training Lab. My sister Lexi Hagia and I run it together. We've had it for 12 years now, 2013. Yeah, that equals, right? Math girl. So, and I did, the reason why I left, it's not for, I just had this opportunity come up, to try, getting in this field of medical sales. And so this opportunity presented itself. And then I literally had a couple weeks to pack up and move to Hawaii. And I never, ever thought I would leave because it's my hometown. I grew up in Torrance. I went to high school there. All my family, my friends, my gym, my community, like everything is there. USC, I went to college, is down the street. So yeah, it has been a very big change, but a couple things that is weird. You mentioned your aunt. How do you say it? Aunt.
I don't know. Aunt. Yeah.
We say auntie. Anyways, lives here in Hawaii, and that's how you found CrossFit. Dani and I. Well, first of all, tell everyone how we met.
Okay, so I don't know how you got there, but so I like Grid. Nobody even knows what that is anymore.
I know.
Like when I tell people, I met Jamie and Grid. Yeah, but like nobody out here knows what that is because people will be like, oh, how do you know Jamie? And I was like, oh, we did Grid. And they're like, literally, what is that? Like nobody knows. So Grid was like CrossFit team like racing. So they have the Florida Grid League now, which is still, I guess, like
it's going up. Oh yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I literally don't know anything about that. But so there was teams all over the country. And hello, Abby.
What did Abby say?
She missed half of our show.
Oh my God. Welcome, Abby.
Anyways, so there was Grid teams all over the country, right? And the gym that I was working out at was in Boston, and there was a Boston Grid team. And the owner of the team was kind of like, oh, I'm going to like draft you on this team. Like, and I was like, okay, cool. You got paid like a little bit of money. I think like $1,000 a month. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but they were like paying us. And I was like, oh, cool. I live in Boston. I have my gym in Boston. Like it's like 20-minute drive for me. I was like, perfect. And then there was like an actual draft, right? And I think it was going on, wasn't it like on Twitter? I think that's how I was seeing the draft results, right? They were like tweeting like this team like picked like this player or whatever. So I'm just like watching this guy who made me go through this whole thing. Also, mind you, who just did that? Producer Seth?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Looking tan, ladies.
You're stressing me out. I had to do 2 Grid League combines, okay? The first one was at CrossFit Southie, which is in Boston, where they took us there. It was like a whole freaking day. And it would be like, I'm not even kidding you, one of the things was do 3 rope climbs as fast as you can. So it's like, and then it was like wait 5 hours. And then I remember the other one was we had to run down, do 10 deadlifts at 225 and run back. So it was like not even exercising. I was there for 15 hours that day. And then God. I passed the combine. I had to go to the Washington, D.C. combine.
Why so?
I don't know. I was just going because they
Who told you to do this? Or you were like, oh, I didn't get picked up.
I moved on to the second combine.
Oh, okay.
So okay. Yeah, so I got like selected from all the Boston people. Maybe there was one in like New York, whatever. And then like the next batch of people had to go to Washington, D.C. And that's where Mike Lee was. So he was like the coach of the team we ended up on. But so he was there, and I specifically remember that there was a workout that had 15 ring muscle ups in the middle, and he was just like, who's doing those? And I was like, I'll do them. And he's like, how many? And I was just like, I'll do all of them. And he was just like, oh. And I was like,
not do 15 muscle ups in a row.
Yeah, I did. I
can do more than that.
Not now. Now I can do 3. But
you ran in the race and did 15 unbroken muscle ups.
Yes. And so what ended up happening after that race, it was 15. I don't
Producer
know
Seth, pull up that video, please.
The Grid archives. So 15 ring muscle ups, and then I came back out, and then I had to do 15 like really shitty power snatches at 95 pounds. And Mike Lee was like our sub coach for that. Anyways, we get to the draft. I didn't know who Mike Lee was. I'm just like waiting for this Boston team to draft me, and they just like aren't. And I'm like getting annoyed because I'm like, you make me go to this combine here, this other combine here, and then like a little bit later, it says like Dani Risha is drafted by the Phoenix Rise. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, where is Phoenix? Number one. Like,
you didn't know?
I don't know. Probably not. But I was like, why? I was pissed. I was like so annoyed. And like at the time too, I thought that Grid was going to be this like thing. So I was like, okay, fine. Like whatever, I'll do it. So that's that. I get to Phoenix.
Wow. Okay.
I land at like the middle of the night, like from Boston. Jamie also lands at like the middle of the night somehow. Okay. Did you get picked up by somebody? I think like someone picked me up. I got like a ride.
I don't remember. Okay.
I had like someone picked from the team
with a card with your name or something. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways. I had a ride. Somebody, it was like really late, drives me to this like random house. I don't know where it is. And like everybody in the house is like sleeping because it's like 10 o'clock at night, except for Jamie. And we're like looking around this house, and I like kind of know who she is. I'm like, oh, she's such an annoying influencer. Like, great, like whatever. So we're like in this house, and then there's like what, maybe 5 bedrooms in this house.
Yeah. For like,
it was a big house. It was like a nice big house.
Yeah.
There's 1 bedroom left with 2 twin size beds, no more than 6 inches apart from each other. Yeah. And that's where me and Jamie slept for 3 months.
Yeah. You know, the whole summer. And trained.
Literally the whole summer. That whole experience was crazy.
Yeah, it was. I remember do you know what year this was? 20.
That was 15.
15.
That was
2015. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because I tore my Achilles in 24. Okay, so I same thing. It was kind of cool. I felt like a NFL or NBA or WNBA player, or whatever. They like did this draft, and then like at my gym, they set up this table. And they had all my friends or they sent me a letter of intent to
You're
sign with
kidding me.
Rise. I swear.
Oh my God, that is so lame.
You just scroll down to 2014. Yeah, and it was like a bootleg janky table, like, and it's like white, and we put it in the middle behind with Torrance Training Club in our background, and I had people. Oh my God!
Don't tell me you have the post.
Nice. Yes, that's Grid League. They all were around me in their open shirts, so all different colors. And I signed this letter, like Jane Higgia signs to the Phoenix Rise, and I signed it, and everyone's like, "Yay!" And so then, and then I was on the team, and then I tore my Achilles in 2014. So I remember I went to the matches with my crutches and all that stuff. And then the next year was the first year that I actually got to play, and you were right next to me in the bed next to me. Yeah. So that's how Dani and I met. And it was honestly, for those who don't know what it is or what Grid is, first of all, if you don't know CrossFit or Grid, doing 15 muscle ups unbroken is unbelievable. That's crazy.
The olden days.
Yeah,
Never
that's
again.
incredible.
I'll never do that
awesome.
again.
No, I believe in you. You can do it. And then, and it was really cool. It was like CrossFit is split up men and women. There obviously are teams. But the cool part is that they take the best of the best. So we have the strongest, the fastest, the best gymnasts, and they're like specialty fitnessers per se, right?
Yeah.
And so and there were crazy movements. Remember, there was like the I don't know, toe to bar, chest to bar muscle ups.
Yeah.
There was like they were doing butterfly muscle ups and all these specialty things. Whoever can handstand walk as fast as they can. Dani
Jamie? Is that you?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Oh my god.
So anyway, and we ended up like you practice and then you have these races and it was really, really fun. But that's how we met. And then fast forward to Dani's crazy. So she's like an entrepreneur. She's like, let's start the shorts company. I'm like, okay.
Was that in 20? No, that was way later.
Yeah.
That was 18. That was 2018.
Right. We also did come to Hawaii because she's like, let's go to Hawaii. I'm like, okay.
No, before that, we went to
the
Bahamas. Yeah, that was after Wadapalooza. I don't know why
this all works.
That was your dumb idea.
No, and I wanted to see the pigs. I wanted to swim with pigs.
You swimming pigs
because we were somewhere after Grid or CrossFit or something.
No, that was Wadapalooza. We were in Miami.
You're right.
And we went from there, but there was a hurricane, and we still went.
Yes. It was like pouring rain, and we were like sitting in the lawn chairs.
It was so sketchy, but Jamie like had to see the swimming pigs.
Oh my god, they're so cute. And now,
so that was before that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the way this works, you'll even see on our live stream, Dani just has these ideas, and she's like, "Let's do this," and I'm like, "Okay." And again, this is how this all came about. She's like, "We're doing a live stream." I was like, "What? Okay." So this
what
is
am I talking about?
We're all.
Oh no,
that's us. You know what, producer Seth, you are A+.
That's on my page. No way.
It is.
That is so embarrassing.
Is it? Okay. So yeah, those are the pigs in the Bahamas. We swam with them and super fun. And the sharks too. So anyways, yeah, that's how this, and so then we came to Hawaii one year and we stayed with my friend Kenny.
That was 2018. So that was 2018. I had just finished regionals and you were training for the games.
No, we just finished the games in 2018. Yes.
No, because you did the swim run with Steph.
You're right.
Remember?
Okay.
So I was done. And Jamie's like, fine, I'll go to Hawaii, but like I have to train while I'm there. And I'm just like, yeah, right. So she ran maybe a mile and then that was it. And you ate a bunch of food and that was it.
I know. And yes, because I was like, I've been to the games twice, once as an individual in 2016. So it took me, for anyone trying to go to the games, like I feel like there's like a 5-year, I don't know, period, right? And so yeah, I started in 2013. I missed it by 2 spots. 2014, I missed it by 2 spots. Tore my Achilles. Went in 2015. Did bad because I was recovering.
No, you went in 2016. We went the same year.
Yeah, I made in 2016. I went individual. You were team. So we were in Carson the very last year. It was there. 2017 and then 2018. Yeah, I made it on a team, and that's why I was like, I'll go to Hawaii. I need to train. So
legend Jamie Hagia. Oh my god, that is something.
That is the furthest thing from.
That is.
Anyways, okay, and I look so tired and big, girl.
But so I don't even understand why we were together in 2016 because I was on Fort Vancouver's teams, which is in Washington State,
right?
For whatever reason. Oh wait, we might have been. I remember now. It was Misfit Camp.
Yes,
Steph was in California.
Yes,
at some gym. Where the heck?
You guys weren't dating at the time, right?
No, way before. This was
okay.
Where the heck was that gym? It was like
Code 3. Code 3 in LA.
Hey, go away.
Producers.
But I don't know why Jamie was there. Anyways, I don't need. So
wait, that's amazing.
I kind of get it. I must have came down from Fort Vancouver for like the weekend for this camp. You were there. I don't know why, but you.
Because I live right there. Code 3 is down the street from my house.
I know, but like, why were you? Whatever. So you were there, and then Jamie has this absolutely freaking horrible idea on like a Saturday morning. Mind you, this is like a couple months before we were both competing at the games. Me on a team, her individually. So it was probably June or July, right? Jamie has this horrible idea Saturday morning. She's like, "Hey, like 7 a.m., like meet me at Hermosa Beach Pier. Like we're going to swim around the pier. And I'm like, whatever. She says I have a swim coach.
Yeah.
She like had she had a swim coach meet us there. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
We get to the freaking pier. It's like, it just like looks shitty out, right? It's hazy. It's like not a sunny day. It's like kind of cold. I was just telling the story, I don't know, to who, Puna or something today. We get to the pier, like we're like ready to swim. I barely can swim. Like I can swim enough to like survive. I don't know if you can swim, whatever. We're swimming around this pier. I think it's 500 meters. I don't know.
Yeah.
Around. Yeah. It's like pretty far swim. We get out to the end of the pier and there's like a bunch of dudes like fishing and throwing chum in the water at the end of the pier. The water is black. It's like murky. It's filthy. We're out 250 yards from shore for people who can't swim, mind you. And Jamie looks at me panicked and goes, dude, there's definitely sharks. We're like, I'm like, who the hell does that? Like we're a 15-minute swim back to shore. Right. So we hadn't even gotten around the pier yet. We were just at the end of it.
Yes.
We weren't even there yet.
Here.
Yes. And we still had to go around the whole thing. And I was just like, oh my God. So we started swimming as fast as we can, which is
we could, dude.
Barely moving.
I remember
when we got to the
we
got back to the shore, dude. I think I like fell to my knees. I was like so gassed.
The hardest you've ever like worked out in your life.
The hardest I've ever swam. You made me so freaking scared. I don't know why I didn't consider that there were sharks out there in the first place, but like I was like, oh yeah, Jamie, like good idea. Let's go swim around the pier.
Well, here's the thing. I grew up in Torrance, Redondo Beach area. Okay. And I'm literally 2 minutes from the beach. And the CrossFit Games, the Hermosa is the next pier over. So that's their famous, like they're known for this ocean swim. And I grew up there my entire life and have never swam. I played in the waves, like close to shore. I've never swam one time in the ocean in my entire life. I was always playing basketball. I was playing.
But that year of the games, remember we had the swim, which was like around the buoys. That was at, I think it was Redondo Beach that they actually did.
It was, and that's why I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like this is where I run it. I jog this, and I was like, this is crazy.
And I remember that was like super. I think because you guys, we had the same event, right? You ran like a tiny bit down the beach and then went in the water.
Then you swam 500 and then had to.
Yeah. So ours was like, we had, because it was teams of 6 at that time. So it was like 2 girls, 2 guys, and then a guy-girl pair all like swam together or whatever. And any pair could go first. So it was just kind of like a disaster, right? So like, I don't remember if I was like the first pair or whatever, but like, I must have been the first pair. We were running in the water and we're like with dudes too. Yeah. And it was like so scary because you're like in a group of probably 50 or 60 people who are like all getting in the water at the exact same time. The waves were crazy that day. Like it was like so dicey. And like, I was like, oh, I'm glad that I was so prepared with that swim from Jamie. Like not at all. Like didn't help at all.
You're welcome.
But no, was crazy.
I think like, for those people who, I mean, people here swim all the time and it's like a normal thing. But if you don't, and I don't, I like swim in a pool. Even that short run before you enter the water and then it like hits you. And then we were with like 40 men, 40 women at the same time. I was like, oh shit. Like, and there's like a little bit of panic and you have to like calm yourself down and try to bring your heart rate down. And so it's
was that your first workout too? Or I forget, was Murph first?
2016. They said, show up here at 4 a.m. with your driver's license and whatever, like, you want to
right.
And they flew us up to the ranch
thing.
So we did the trail run.
Like
Wait, did you guys not
the
do
infamous
that? You guys
trail run?
You didn't
No, ours
started with a swim?
So I think okay, I remember now. The swim was Thursday.
Yes.
You guys had that thing on Wednesday. And Wednesday night, we had Team Murph at the StubHub Center.
You did Murph at night, Wednesday night?
Yeah, and it was freaking. It was.
Ooh, where are you? Are you
on the floor on the ground? Yeah, I stand by. That is the worst workout and hardest thing I've ever done. That's cool, absolutely. That was absolutely freaking terrible. And I was like the fat one on the team. So like I'm with these 5 elite level runners who all run like a sub 5-minute mile. And then this was when they had like the gurney thing. Remember the thing they like carried us on? And I was just like, please just carry me. And like everybody we were all like cramping and stuff. So like I didn't get carried as much as I like needed to be carried.
You did that at night.
Yeah, it was like, it was like I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, it was like in the afternoon. But the workout, it was absolutely terrible. It was like you had to sprint to get your gurney thing, put somebody on the gurney, you like run a mile with it, and then it was all like worm stuff. I think it was like 100 worm push press. It was like
Ew.
some crazy amount of chest to bar, and then like 300 worm squats, and then the same like run thing. But it was
your Murph?
yeah, it was horrible. It was
Oh,
like
gross.
I 100% when people say what's the like hardest workout you've ever done, I don't even have to think about it. Like that was by far. It was so bad.
You know what? We want to hear from
Do
you
you have
guys.
one?
What is the hardest workout you guys have done? And I know people probably. So yeah.
Jess is gonna say the
chime in.
2K row and 2-mile run that she did
That
this
she
morning.
just did. What is Abby gonna say? Oh dang! Look at that fit girl.
That wasn't hard.
What was that?
A sub 2 Fran, but that's not hard.
Hi Sadash. Hi Angel. Hi Abby. Hi Puna.
Jess wants a shout
Jess. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We're just talking about the hardest workout we've ever done.
What's the hardest workout you've ever done?
Oh man. Oh, you know what it is? I know.
What?
It's from a teamwork. Like individual games it's hard, right? Like, but you are only depending on yourself. So I can push as harder as like I know I not sandbag, but I like should have gone a lot harder at the ranch. I got last place in the trail run and then deadlifted like and was middle of the pack. And then that chipper there with the GHDs and a sprint up the hill. I left that day and I was a little disappointed. I just didn't. I could have gone harder. Anyways, but the whole point of that is like that's all on your own. When you're on a team,
so much worse.
It's terrible. Like, so I know one of the worst workout was at the games in 2018. We finished anytime there's worm lunges or squat, anything with a worm, but really the lunges and burpees over. Yeah, terrible. Like it's the worst thing that has ever happened to me. So
yeah, I always find it interesting when people are like, "Oh, team workouts are better because I get rest," and it's like, "Oh no, like no, you better be going like twice as hard then." Yeah, so that's always an interesting thing.
Well,
these comments are unhinged right now.
This morning, oh my god, these are some SummerSlam workouts.
Wait, who's clicking these?
I think producer Seth. Can you pop up one more time, Seth? That was really cool.
So that little human. Just say, little human's not allowed on the YouTube.
Oh, why?
I don't know because I don't.
In conclude, like wrapping things up,
it's time to go.
Yes, because we don't want to stay on here all day. And we can. Most of this will be us, like with amnesia, trying to figure out, like, oh, remember we did this, or we did
what
that.
year was that?
Oh my god. Anyways, but we have come a long way. We both did the competitor route, owning gyms. You are now a mother, and we'll get into that another episode, even though I know you don't want to talk about it. I have a job. Crazy.
You don't want to talk about that.
Would have ever happened. There's been a lot of life changes for us. But yeah, we're just about keeping it real on here, bringing up topics that we'll see throughout fitness and CrossFit, but also just being two girls.
Yeah, and we need to follow what's going on in the space a little bit more too, and just with the competitions and the athletes and stuff like that. I think will be
we should recap.
Be fun.
NorCal. Yeah,
next time.
Do
we need to do anything else, producer Seth, or do we just hit the end button?
That was great.
Just click the button. Okay, bye.
Okay, see you guys next time. Thanks for joining.